So I've been getting so many people on stream asking me to help them with Mirror Lake or, grind Winterbane with them. And when I asked them why, they said, oh, well, you train like 8 pets at a time. Don't you farm Mirror Lake for Mega Snacks or something? And then I learned that people genuinely farm Mirror Lake or Winterbane for like 2 Pixie Sticks a run. That's like a level like a 30 XP mega snack for each run, which I think is ridiculous. So I've been having to do like 2 tutorials every single day on stream to show why couch potatoes are so much better and how to actually make a plot. Currently, couch potatoes have never been easier to farm because with thanks to the new advanced housing, not only can you still get a 69 plot, you can get a perfect 69 plot in like under 3 minutes. Also, it's a 1 layer, which makes it even easier to farm. And here you can see one of my 69 plots. Just so I can convince you to farm couch potatoes, take like, 10 minutes out of your day to set up a farm and, 5 minutes every day after that just to actually farm this. Couch potatoes at Elder Harvest, they give a mega snack that averages 45 XP. They drop a 50 XP, a 45 XP, and a 40 XP mega snack. So we take that 45 XP, multiply it by 69 for each of the couch potatoes, divided by the 3.5 days that it'll take for a couch potato to harvest that elder, if you have the appropriate boost, and then compare it to a level 30 XP snack like Pixie Stick, you get about 15 Mirror Lake runs worth of mega snacks a day with just 169 plot. So if you had one of these, if you had 2 of these in each of your houses, that's 30 a day. If you have like this on 5 characters, that's, 150 Mirror Lake runs worth of mega snacks a day. Not only do you get an excess of mega snacks, but you also get a ridiculous amount of TC. I think I've sold all mine so you can't see, but it's pretty easy to sell because you get a bunch of actual TC like Brace and Infal and stuff like that, and you can sell for pretty cheap. But they also drop in powers, and you can see here I have like 215 powers on this character. I haven't been able to sell these powers fast enough at maximum price. I'm actually gaining in powers every single time, even though I'm always in here trying to get maximum sells on my empowers. On top of that, they also drop level 10 mega snacks that I've seen people actually buy in the auction house, which is surprising to me. Like for instance, Taco 10 Special, I have 574 of these. So just this alone would be 120k gold. Shanta puddings, like these aren't even minimum sell. Like people are genuinely buying Shanta puddings, which is what someone with a couch potato farm would be selling for just side profits. I mean, look at this fucking money, dude. And if that still doesn't convince you that it's easy gold, I came here to my Wisteria villa, and these are all the gold piles I've had to buy because I just run out of space on my characters to store golds because, I eventually get too many TCs that I have to sell them, or the couch potato themselves give me too much gold because each couch potato is going to give you about 2k gold per life cycle, so every 3.5 days. And each of these gold piles are worth, I think, 475,000 gold. Smaller ones are worth about half of that. And if we were to look at exactly how much gold piles I have, I got 12 big gold piles, 16 gold piles. The actual value of these piles before being bought are about 9.5 million gold, and this is all just made with me farming couch potatoes on the side for mega snacks. Alright, so now you're convinced, the first thing you do is go to Mulinda Wu, take your first gardening quest. That'll lead you to Farley. He'll give you a basic introduction to plants, not really that useful. The main thing is that you finally get your level 1 soil plot and you can actually start gardening. After you finally are able to do gardening, first thing you want to do is just plant a bunch of soil spells in your house and just plant any rank 1 gardening plant that you have. Most people have pink dandelions when they're questing, so you can easily just farm those. And you're just going to want to give them needs and take care of them until you get rank 3 gardening, which shouldn't take longer than 2 or 3 days. After you get rank 3 gardening, you're finally going to be able to plant couch potatoes, so I recommend going to the bazaar and going to the decorations tab to go get litter, which should, I think it's in the decoration tab. Yes, buy litter, buy a sandwich station, which should also be in the decoration tab. You're also going to want to buy the tropical garden gnome that Farley sells. All of these are going to help boost the speed of your plant timing. And there are 3 houses that also boost the speed of your plant times. The cheapest one is the Red Barn Farm, which sells for 125,000 gold. Really should be the first house you ever get. If you aren't a free-to-play player, you could also buy the Botanical Gardens or the Ever After Village from bundles. After you buy your large soil spell from Charlie the Croctopia Farmer, you're going to want to head to Mushu Decoration Shop, where you're going to go and buy low square table. Now you're going to go to one of the growth speed modifier houses I listed before. I'm doing it on the inside of the Red Barn Farm. The growth speed modifier affects both the outside and the inside of homes. I already have a 69 plot outside, and you can't really get another one unless you use a bric-a-brac elixir. So I'm just going to do it indoors since it also works for this tutorial. So you're going to place down your low square table and try to put it out in a corner. When you're inside, it doesn't really matter. When you're outside, it doesn't really matter because you have plenty of space. But when you're inside, you kind of have to make adjustments. I recommend not doing it in the basement of the inside of the Red Barn Farm because it can get pretty buggy. First thing you do is grab a large soil spell, place it literally anywhere. You can see it automatically locks on. Then after the soil is placed, you're going to go into advanced movement on the low square table. Lower the sensitivity as low as it can possibly be, and then switch to absolute movement where you can see the coordinate system. And then play around with the coordinate system real quick to see what direction each setting goes to. You can reset afterwards. And then go 4 ticks to the side. It's going to be moved by 80 on the X or Y coordinate system. Get out of advanced movements, and then place a large soil. And then you keep doing this until you get 1 row of 8 large soils. After you've completed an entire row, you're going to want to go down against the row. So here I'll just be going, other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I can start in the second row. And you're going to want to do this until you get an 8x8 plot. I'm going to do it a little bit differently, but if you are too afraid of messing it up, I recommend just doing an 8x8 plot. So here we have 3 rows finished, and normally I would just go down 4 and then start going along this row. But since there's 5 extra plots you're going to need, what I normally do is I go to the right or the left of the 4th row and make it a 10 long row. And I do the same for the 5th row, which adds in 4 more plots. And then I'll show you what to do with the last plot afterwards. Of course, you could also just make it 8x8 and then add 5 to one end anyways. It really doesn't matter. It's all going to fit no matter what. Now that I got 2 10 rows, what I'm going to do is bring it down. Hold on, whoops. 1, 2, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bring it to the left once more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I can go back to finishing the last 3 rows of 8. So now that you have your 64, your 68 plot done, what I like to do with the rest of my remaining plots is to put them at the very edge here. If you didn't decide to do these 4 plots, I would just say put a whole row of 5. But here I'm going to center the very last row right here. So we're going to go here, go down by 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to go across till we're halfway in between. So that would be 4.5 spots. So we're going to go, or sorry, no, 3.5 spots. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2 to get right in between the 4th and the 5th plot. I'll place this. And now this is a perfect 69 plot. So there are 6 modifiers like an expedited couch potato plant time, because normally they take 10.75 days to fully grow to elder, but you can cut that down to 3.5 days by getting all 6 of the multipliers. The main one is the house. So here we are on the Red Barn Farm. I already listed the other 2 houses. And the other 2 easy ones to get are the litter and sandwich station. They drop from couch potatoes at Mature Harvest anyways, but I already showed that you can get them in the decoration section of the bazaar. And I'm just gonna make it so that they're right underneath the plant plot so you can still gain benefits while not needing to look at it and having it be anywhere. So we're just gonna put this right, let me put this a little bit more to the left. Put these right underneath so we still gain those needs. And the Tropical Garden Gnome, like I said before, you can get in the from Farley in Golem Court. So now we're gonna center this, put it down. So it's 4 of the needs. The one that's probably the hardest to get out of all of them is the King Parsley. Now, if you normally quest, it should be extremely easy to get this just from like questing throughout the storyline. But if you can't get one, I'd recommend just farming Imperium, Mirage, Polaris, the highest level world you can, and eventually you'll get it. It's pretty hard to get one. For some reason, I'm not allowed to place plant plots in here. So what I'm gonna do is structure this table to the edge. And it really doesn't matter where you put it, as long as it's at the very edge of the soil. Every soil plot's gonna get the needs. And then you place the King Parsley seed. One more thing I didn't mention before, the last modifier is a fairy or pixie. And you can buy that outright as a spell from the Croctopia Gardener at like, I think it's either level 5 or level 10 gardening. But most of the time it doesn't matter because when your plants reach mature, they have a chance of just spawning their own pixie. And when you have 69 of them, you're most likely going to get a pixie. And you really don't have to waste the spell on that. Now, as for grinding couch potatoes, pretty much everything in the third arc can drop couch potatoes. So if you're questing through and hit max level, you'll probably already have gotten dozens of couch potatoes. But I would recommend everyone to AFK farm them. If you go to the Troubled Warriors in... Oh, whoops. I did not mean to do that. If you go to the Troubled Warriors in Sabert's Pass in Grizzleheim, basically the first mob in Grizzleheim. Did my game crash? Good job, KI. So when you get to the Troubled Warriors, you want to fill your deck up with the lowest tier AoE you have. So that could be Meteor, Blizzard, Tempest, Frog, Ratspin if you have it, Deer Knight, basically the lowest tier AoE you have. If you can't kill them with one shot of an AoE, then, well, congrats on trying to get ahead of the curve, but I guess you can manually farm them if you want. I'm pretty sure most people can easily one-shot these guys now. If you don't have any raw resist jewels, you can just put in a fairy spell that self-heals you, just so that every, 1 in 15 cards you pull, you're going to be healing yourself. And if you get an auto-clicker and position right to the center of your screen, it'll just constantly kill these mobs. If you don't know how to make an auto-clicker, I'll put a link down below to AutoHotkey, which is basically a programming language that allows you to run scripts. I'll have my script linked in my Discord, which will basically give you the text document that I use that runs this. Basically, all I do is press F1, and it just automatically clicks in the very center of my screen. Pretty much the easiest way to AFK farm couch potatoes. There's many other ways, but you basically just leave this running overnight with an empty inventory, and you'll probably wake up, have to relog, and get rid of every musical scroll, every other trash seed. If you do this for a few nights, you'll eventually have enough for a 69 plot of couch potatoes. So yeah, I hope I helped you guys out. And yeah, peace.